Yo, 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 what's good? What's good? So, y'all, I ran across a dope, interesting ass article. It was posted to the LA Times. It was written by a lady named Miss Angel Jennings, and basically, the essence of it is that the spirit of Nipsey Hussle lives on. Yeah, you see, for many of his fans and people who just knew about him or appreciated, what he was about and stuff like that, they knew that he was a hell of a bookworm. To put it in his own words, or to quote the article, basically, prolific. He was a prolific bookworm who read anything he could get his hands on. He truthfully believed that to solve any of these puzzles that he was out here confronted with, that knowledge was hidden somewhere in some book, and he was going to read every one that he could. And there's a there's this book club now that is actually being that was actually created in his honor. There's four different chapters, and within these four chapters, there's 74 African Americans and two Latino men who get together and they come to read books that are compiled off of this list right here. Yeah, you see, this list right here was compiled by a Twitter fan, or not a Twitter fan, a fan on Twitter. Basically, a fan of Nipsey Hussle's that was on Twitter who had went through all of his interviews, went through all of his music and everything like that, and she found every time that he had mentioned the book that he had read, and she put it all together. And this is the list of the books that are actually being read within this book club, and the things that these books are doing for these men is amazing. And I mean, these are entrepreneurs, these are lawyers, these are accountants, these are there's a professor, they're a former athlete. They have elite occupations, and they get together to discuss all kinds of things. Almost like barbershop talk, but it's like an actual book club. You come together, you get to talk about this one book and stuff like that. So within this actual article, though, it speaks about how certain books were able to influence Nipsey. One of them was The Spook Who Sat by the Door. Now, this is an underground classic written by Sam Greenlee, and it follows the life of, well, it's fictional, but it follows the life of Dan Freeman. He's a former gang member who ends up becoming the first African American CIA operative, or AKA Spook. But after being in the CIA and stuff like that, apparently he's like, nah, man, that's some bullshit. So I'm not really with this stuff. So he takes everything that he was taught in the CIA and then he teaches it to the people within his community to give them those tools and wisdom. And if you can't see the parallels between that, then y'all don't get it? Okay. So y'all see everything that Nipsey was doing, right? How he basically took his gang ties and learned everything about what it was about the loyalty and the knowledge and stuff like that, and then he also got the books and everything like that and took all of that and then turned it into helping his community, right, prosper, to be better. You see how he was able to take parts of the book and add it into, turning it into actual wisdom and practicality. All right, so another one was Contagious, Why Things Catch On. And through this book, he was able to market his mixtape Crenshaw for $100 a pop. Now, y'all don't have to be a hip hop fan or a rap fan, just a music fan, really, to know that most people ain't paying more than $20 for a CD. Really not even doing that nowadays because we got streaming and stuff like that. So to sell a mixtape, even though it came with some other stuff, but to sell a mixtape for $100 a pop, why? Because this book taught him value. And the value, oh, sorry, I'm sweating. I gotta keep this on though. But he learned the value of himself, basically, like, selling yourself. Like, don't sell yourself short. If you have something that you believe is worth something, then put it out there for what you believe is worth. That's something for tattoo artists. That's something for really anybody who owns their own thing and is out here trying to get their money. Get paid for your talent. Don't get paid for their budget. You dig? And so another one, I'm not gonna go through all of them, but there was the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, and it was through this one where he got the motto, "Life is not a sprint but a marathon," which he condensed to the marathon, and you see that everywhere that's surrounded with Nipsey because it became his mantra. It is something that he lived by and stuff like that. So these books, as you can see, that they were able to really, really help Nipsey in his I guess, his path in trying to transform everything that he saw into something better. He was given this gift, this innate gift and insight to understand things. It also speaks about this 2006 Russell Simmons event where he was on stage and they had asked him, and he was like, nah, I don't, the diamonds and the cars and the rims and all that, that's cool and stuff. But for me, I want to invest in like some real estate or something. I want to do something for my people. And like he just always had this mentality. And when you look at the books, there it is again, like that. All right. So, but when you look at the books and you can tell, it's like, all right, these books right here really explain a whole bunch of different perspectives and points of views and ways of understanding man. And I don't mean man genderly. I mean like man as in humankind. You did? And it's like just being able to study these things that made him as wise as he truthfully was. So he was able to inspire this book club, and I just think that's amazing. They talk about a whole bunch of different things in the book club. They get to talk about things that black men don't truthfully or traditionally get a chance to talk about, such as mental health and depression, breaking down, vulnerability, being emotional. I don't know. Whenever these kind of articles come around, y'all know I'm going to share them every time. But if you want to read it yourself, I left the link in the description. So, also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We over here at Controversial Conversation ain't got nothing but the most love for y'all, but y'all gotta show a little bit of love, please. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, man, we'll be back in a little bit. Holla.